kanalen. I dag skal vi ta opp nok et interessant tema, så jeg setter over til studio.
Good morning from a particularly cloudy Vienna. You can see like Vienna in the background here. Also just over here there's a house, and that is where Mozart wrote part of the Magic Flute. So it's an incredibly interesting place to do this talk today. But firstly, I would like to thank the Nordic Committee for Human Rights for the honour and the privilege to be able to talk today to everybody. We had some very good news this week at the European Court of Human Rights. Very good news for children and their families in Norway, when 13 judges to 4 voted against Norway in the Strand Loben case. This is a very good sign for other cases that justice can also be served in this area. So this is great news to actually come here and communicate this to this family event today. So I actually recently released a book called Stolen Childhood, and this is about the truth of what's happening in Norway today in the Norwegian child welfare system. There are many professionals from Norway who have a voice here. There are children who have a voice, and it just shows the true picture of what is really happening in Norway, something that mainstream media in Norway is not showing. And I want to just go to one chapter, chapter 9 of 18 chapters, and chapter 9 is about dehumanisation. It's called Dehumanised. I would like to start with the quote at the beginning of chapter 9, Dehumanised, by a French-German theologian, Albert Schweitzer, in his book Reverence for Life. He wrote, "Our culture divides people into 2 classes: civilised men, a title bestowed on the persons who do the classifying, and others who have only human form, who may perish or go to the dogs for all the civilised men care. Oh, this noble culture of ours. It speaks so piously of human dignity and human rights, and then disregards this dignity and these rights of countless millions and treads them underfoot. This culture has no right to speak of personal dignity and human rights. And Norway and some other Scandinavian countries, they have absolutely no right to speak of personal dignity and human rights. So why does the Norwegian population just stand by when families day after day are having their rights violated? And how can a child welfare system that should support families and their children in the families, why do they dehumanise them, and why do they destroy so many normal families? Many people ask these questions. We can trace some of this to the textbooks that are produced for social workers, and a prominent social worker, in particular Kari Killen, and other social workers have written books on how to take children away from their parents. This is certainly one of the reasons why there has been a rapid increase in family takeovers in recent years. So the work of Killen and Co. has certainly laid the foundations for social workers to dehumanise the family in Norway and other surrounding countries. For example, Killen urges social workers to cut all emotional bonds with the families they are investigating, and to force parents to admit things that are not true. Like, if a parent sort of grieves when their children are taken, the parents are then classed as selfish, for example. And Killen also claimed that parents who do not give good care to their children are rarely able to learn how to do so. Joa Trandway, a psychologist who shone a significant spotlight on a very dysfunctional Norwegian child welfare system, he claims that such treatment of parents by Norway's child welfare system is copied by the rest of society over time. It's a form of stigmatisation. So I want to finish with what a Norwegian lawyer said. Grøl Hilstad Tune, a Norwegian lawyer who is an author and a former member of the European Commission for Human Rights, where she was a judge for 16 years. She actually wrote this: "The ground beneath the feet of Norway's child welfare system is burning. Children are exposed to serious maltreatment and abuses of power every day. Norway's child welfare system employees also describe the heartbreaking harassment of their children, usually by frustrated and heartbroken family members who are connected in some way to a child that was removed by Norway's child welfare system. The turnover of jobs is rapid, and new employees quickly replace those who leave, most likely with the initial intention of helping the children they meet. Families who are in contact with local child welfare services are, if it is possible, even more despairing and angry about having their lives torn apart than those who have experienced the dark side of Norway's child welfare system from working within the agency. The rage is often well founded, and it is shared by those of us who are seeing at close hand how the supposed children's safety net often causes children irreparable harm and trauma for life." So finally, I just want to thank all the work that the Nordic Committee for Human Rights does for children and their families in the Nordic regions. It's so important in our day that we stand up for children's rights when we see in Norway and surrounding countries these rights are violated every day. So thank you so much. Thank you for this time. And please, if you get the chance, please read Stolen Childhood. It is so important. There's so many voices in this book that need to be heard, and children as well. So thank you very much, and God bless you, and God bless this event.